Welcome to the Empower Her podcast. I'm Deanna, an ex-corporate manager turned certified coach, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. My goal is to guide you and support you in understanding what you really want in life, what steps to take to get there, and learn to actually enjoy the ride. Whether you are climbing the corporate ladder, a stay-at-home parent, or an entrepreneur, I coach you on how to believe you are worthy of a balanced, happy, and energetically positive life in work and at home. My goal in this podcast is to help you recognize patterns, implement change, and use your energy for positivity within yourself and your own life. I believe you don't have to suffer in this lifetime. You can create a life on your terms based on what you want, regardless of what that looks like. It is about reframing your beliefs, letting go of negative thoughts, and looking at your life as a set of opportunities there for you. I'm so excited to get started. Hello, and welcome back to the Empower Her podcast. I hope everyone is having a great Monday or Tuesday or whatever day you're actually listening to this. I've been feeling a little weird in the month of August. I don't know about you. I've been reading about the astrology and how there's a lot of really crazy conjunctions and different aspects in astrology right now. So maybe that's why. I feel like I also saw this TikTok. I think Tinks posted it, and she was asking, do you guys feel like August is the Sunday of all the months? And I was like, oh my God, that is such a good representation of it. I think I may even do a post about like which months I find or like what days of the week. So August is definitely a Sunday and September is definitely a Monday. It just makes sense. Monday's back to school. Monday's like, let's go start the thing back. Most people are back from vacation at that time. You know, you're trying to do all the things, get started. It's usually when coaches have the most new clients at the beginning of that part of the year. So it's really, really interesting. But I've just been feeling really strange about August. Like it's just been interesting to me because usually I travel. This time I'm not traveling. I have the weddings I'm going to. It's just been a lot going on. So I've also been dealing with some sort of like health situation. I'm not going to call it a struggle because I don't want to say it's not that serious, but you know, it's not nothing crazy, but I've just had some weird things going on and I've been really trying to work on that. I was in my luteal phase this week, moving into my menstrual phase. I've been drinking raspberry leaf tea, which I feel like has really helped with my PMS symptoms. So if anyone has like really bad PMS symptoms, and apparently it's good during your menstrual phase as well. So definitely try that raspberry leaf tea. But I've just felt weird lately. Like my hair has been falling out. I've gotten like bumps on my neck. It's just been a little bit strange and I feel like something is off. I've made a lot of like changes in my diet recently and things like that, and for the better, but I still feel like maybe something's off. So I've been trying to look into it, what this means, what I could do. I bought peppermint, spearmint mint tea because that's helpful, taking vitamins. So I'm just sharing this because I want to be open about this. See if you guys have struggled with any of these things. I may even talk about it on social media. We'll see if I get the courage to do that. I'm usually not good about sharing these things, but we will see. So today's topic is going to be more of a mindset shift type of podcast episode. I saw someone say something online that really kind of sparked my interest and I wanted to give my 2 cents. And it was a question that was posed. And the question was, do you actually want the thing, or do you want people to see that you have the thing? So this is really interesting. And I want to talk about this in the context of manifesting and mindset shifts. So again, the question is, do you actually want that thing that you want, or do you want people to see you have it, right? And there is a massive, massive difference in the two, right? So basically the question is asking like, is this something, whatever you're manifesting, whatever you say you want, whether it's a bag, a car, a business, is it something that truly deep down you want, or you want it because you see other people having it? You want it because you think it's going to give you a certain type of status symbol, right? If you're going to attract a certain person that way. I'll give you a personal example. When I first started my business, everyone was talking about, oh, I'm making 10K months, 100K months, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I just want a Chanel bag, right? Like I had it laid out, the medium black Chanel bag with the silver hardware. Like it was a whole thing, right? And like I never really had any bags like that growing up. Not because we couldn't afford it. It just, that's not what my parents chose to spend our money on. We didn't buy flashy things at all, whether it was cars, shoes, clothes, like nothing. We spent it on traveling. That's what we spent our extra money on. And so I never grew up wanting these things. So when I did want it, it was really interesting. And I, had this all laid out in my head that it was something I really wanted. But after doing the work over the last several years on myself and the mindset work, I realized that I actually don't give a shit about the bag. Like literally couldn't care less. If you gave me a gift as a Chanel bag, yeah, maybe I'd be happy, but I might even sell it and instead go on a trip somewhere. It's no longer my priority. But I think because I was seeing everyone on social media, oh, they had the Chanel bag. It was a status symbol, I was like, oh, well, if I have such an expensive bag, that means I'm on top. That means I'm at the level of these other people, right? And it really just wasn't about me. It was more of that status symbol than anything else. On the other hand, I've always wanted to be the person that can fly first class all the time. I've never flown first class before, in those pods that you see where people lie down. I've never flown in those before, but that's always been my dream. And I know deep down that has nothing to do with other people that I want to fly first class. It's not because I want to take a picture on Instagram and show people, right? It's because I fly between Europe and the States a lot, right? As many of you know, I live in Europe now, but I used to live in the States. My family's there. I go back and forth. I'm sorry, but you can't tell me that a first class lie flat seat is not more comfortable for 10 hours than economy. It's just not, right? And obviously it's really expensive, but that's something that I would spend my money on if I had it, when I have it. We're manifesting. So when I have it, right? And that has nothing to do with other people. It's because of me. It's because I know what I'm going to get out of it, right? I'm going to feel more calm. I'm going to be more rested. I could get work done, right? Because there's free Wi-Fi and you have room to actually take out your laptop, right? Those are all the reasons that I would have to want to do it and spend money on that, right? It's about investment in my time, energy, and comfort, not about what other people, right? The Chanel bag was because other people were seeing it, right? Like I have a bunch of other bags that don't cost thousands of dollars that work just fine. Why do I need a Chanel bag, right? Versus the first class lie flat flight, right? That is something that you can't get on economy. It's just not the same, right? And so that's something that would bring me a lot of joy internally and not because of other people. So that's just kind of like a monetary example of the difference between, is it something that you really want, or is it something that you want other people to see that you have, or that it's a status symbol. And the way to do this is you really have to understand the root cause and the root belief of where this is coming from. Because I truly believe if you're manifesting, but your manifestation isn't coming from a deeply authentic place, you won't be able to manifest it. Or when you do manifest it, it's not going to feel good and you're not going to get that feeling that you want. It might even feel shitty or inauthentic, because the thing is with social media and consumerism, it's so easy to get caught up in what other people have and what their life looks like, right? Like I used to watch Sex and the City, the first movie, and say, oh my God, that, closet that big built Carrie in the movie was everything that I wanted. Now, it's not even in my top 5, top 10 things that I would manifest, right? Like I just saw that because I was like, oh my God, all the clothes, it made her happy. Well, honestly, no, it didn't, right? Like even though she had all the clothes, she had all the bags, she really just wanted Big to love her. And that was a challenge. It took a long, long time. So it's like, what are the priorities in your life, right? There was a time where I did go through this phase where I wanted to get these nice things. I wanted to be seen with these things. And literally, I now couldn't care less. Maybe it's also being in your 30s, I think is a big difference as well. Your confidence changes. But in general, I did the work and I realized that when I actually stop to think and go inward about what I want, those are not the things that I want, right? It's just not about that. I actually now, the things I manifest are all things that I feel like would make my life better, would make my life easier, would actually make me happier, would actually move the needle, right? A first class seat is going to move the needle. That's going to save me 10, 12, 14 hours between, the short check-in lines and everything else. And it's going to be more comfortable versus the Chanel bag. I wear it a couple times and then, I have a bunch of other bags that cost me way less than that and that do the same job, right? It's not going to actually improve my life. So you have to take an audit of your life and understand what it would actually take to make your life happier and better, easier, more comfortable, right? Like those are the things we want to look at. And that's what you should manifest, because you can't subscribe to what other people are doing or having. You see all these people online and the majority of them with all these flashy things, they're not necessarily happy, right? And again, I am not saying that money doesn't buy happiness. It absolutely does, but it's about where you spend your money and what you invest in. That's what's going to make a big difference, right? Because the problem is, and this is what comes down to manifesting, is you think by getting what other people have or having what you think people want to see, you're going to have the feeling you're looking for, right? So with the Chanel bag, if I get the Chanel bag, I thought I was going to have status. I thought I was going to feel wealthy, all those things. Would it actually make me feel that way? Probably not. But flying a first class seat, it would make me feel wealthy because I feel like, well, now I'm getting 10 hours of my time back, right? And again, that's just a trivial example. There's many other, examples that you could talk about, but that's just an example of like, that is actually going to move the needle for me. That is actually going to help me because then I can spend 10 hours on my laptop doing something for my business that makes me the money back, just as an example, right? But even if you just wanted to do it for the comfort, even if you weren't even thinking about an investment or your job or whatever, if you feel more comfortable and you're going to be more rested, therefore you're going to have a better vacation, you're going to have a better time, etc., that also matters, right? At the end of the day, everyone just wants the feeling that their manifestation is going to bring them, right? Whether it's safety, whether it's abundance, right? Like if you want more money, it's not that you want more money, you want to feel safe. You want to feel financially secure, right? So it's about how you can make yourself feel that way right now. Or what are those things that are actually going to make you feel that way? Because a Chanel bag or whatever is not necessarily going to make you feel that way. And it's about how you can start embodying that version of you today. I've talked about this before on another podcast as well. And the key to manifesting is whatever those things that you want, that version of you that you want to embody, think about what are those feelings that that person feels. Don't necessarily think about what that version of you has in terms of stuff like physical, tangible things. Think about the feeling that that person has. Are they free, right? Do they manage their own time? Think about all those things and try to embody that version of yourself today. And then you want to manifest things that are actually going to be in your best interest and will truly make you happy. So I'll give you another example, totally different in my business. I'm a coach and I follow a lot of coaches online. I'm inspired by them. I like to see what they're up to, all the things. And the majority of them sell programs, right? Which is fine. I have nothing against that. And I've tried creating programs and selling programs in the past, but my heart wasn't in it. I didn't sell. I just didn't sell anything because my heart wasn't in it, because it's just not authentic to me at this moment. I'm someone who prefers one-to-one calls with my clients. I prefer group live Q&A calls. That's where I thrive. I love having that one-to-one connection with my clients. And the programs I was creating and when I was creating them, it just wasn't aligned. And that doesn't mean that later it won't be aligned. It doesn't mean that I'm never going to create a program before. I have one I'm thinking about right now, but it's a lot different than, just you go in and you watch videos and that's it. It's much more interactive. But I waited till I was feeling aligned with it to actually start working on it. And I'm not going to force it, right? Because it's not going to get me to where I want to be, right? Because my goal, like when I think about it, my manifestation is to help as many clients as possible, not to sell as many programs as possible, right? It's to help clients. So how do I help clients? Maybe for me, it's one-to-one calls, Q&As, etc., right? That's something that brings me joy. That's something that I feel like I'm good at and something that I can bring to my clients. So if I'm spending time doing something I don't like, it's not going to align with me. I'm not going to make the money. I'm not going to help the clients because it's not actually aligned. So I had to be like, okay, I can't keep doing what other people are doing. I actually had to like mute some of those coaches because I was getting so triggered by all these programs, and it was annoying to me that I kept seeing all these programs when I was like, I literally just want to chat with people, like I don't want to have to create a program and do a bunch of videos and like that just was not me, right? So you have to cut out the noise at some point. You have to turn inward. You have to focus on what you really want, and you have to manifest from a place of authenticity, because if you don't do that, the things that you want, the things you're manifesting, your goals, you will not reach them, right? I was just posting, something came to me about, maybe y'all have seen it on Instagram, a walk and talk 60-minute coaching session. I was giving away 3 free coaching sessions where we walk and talk. We literally go outside and have a coaching call while we're both walking together, and we're on the phone, right? And that was something that was really inspiring to me. And I posted about it and people were super interested in it. And I got my spots filled up, right? Like that was something that was authentic to me. And no wonder, because it also attracted my clients as well, versus other programs that I've done or other things that I've done just didn't attract people. And it's not because it was free, right? I've done other free things before that didn't attract people because it wasn't something that I was aligned with. So at the end of the day, you have to look at, what are you aligned with? What are you manifesting? Don't look at what other people are doing. Don't look at what you think you should be doing or what other people want to see from you. It's not about that. At the end of the day, it's about being authentic to you. It's about understanding what moves your specific needle, right? What makes you feel better. And it's about doing things that are completely in line with what you feel and what you feel is right. And that is the absolute key to manifesting. And then, of course, starting to embody that version of you today, because that's going to get you faster to where you want to be. So I hope that was inspiring, a little inspo this week, a little mindset shift for you. If you do want to talk about your manifestations, if you do want to work on your goal setting and really reach your goals, especially with our fall coming up in September, I do have coaching slots open for September as well. And we can have a 20-minute complimentary chat to see if we would be a good fit. And I'm always open in the DMs as well if you ever wanted to chat. I hope y'all have an amazing, fabulous week. Stay cool if you're in a really hot place. Sending you all the love, and I'll see you in the next episode. And if you love this episode, don't forget to follow the podcast and leave a review. And of course, you can follow me at Coach Deanna DeBolt on TikTok and Instagram. I'll catch you next time.